desires to live a colorful and an enjoyable life on this earth. Most of us dream to get rid of our monotonous and dull life and get into a world of magic where the mystical and enchanted elements of fantasy land delight our hearts. People want to leave behind the actual realities of life and travel to someplace else, someplace on the verge of reality and magic. Think about the life of an orphan who has no one to look up to, no shoulder to cry on, and no moments to cherish with the fire within herself. Today, we introduce to you the journey of a young girl, Dorothy, who amidst despair and loneliness found the power within herself through pure friendship and guidance. Cherishing the union of a kind heart, a wise brain, a pure soul, and an eccentric culture, we, the students of Presentation Convent School, proudly present The Wizard of Oz.
The play has been adapted from the evergreen classic novel The Wizard of Oz by the renowned author Frank Baum. Set in the early 1900s, our story follows a young girl named Dorothy who lived with her Uncle Henry and Aunt Em on a farm in Kansas. Being an orphan, she was always alone, only her aunt and her uncle for company on a large, uninteresting farm. She never had any friends, and her aunt and uncle were always very busy working, so they could not talk to her or spend time with her at all. However, Dorothy had a little dog called Toto, who was her only friend in her lonely times. But Toto was always running away and going into the neighbor Miss Glutch's backyard, and often she would complain to Dorothy about him. One day, Miss Glutch, having lost her patience, went to Dorothy's farm and told the family that if the dog appeared again in her garden, she would kill him. Dorothy was very scared of those words. She loved Toto and didn't want Miss Glutch to harm the dog in any way. Toto, being a naughty yet playful dog, ventured yet again into Miss Glutch's garden, and she chased him and Dorothy, screaming threats of physical harm. Dorothy decided to never part with her only friend and solace in Kansas and hurried back to the safety of Aunt Em and Uncle Henry. Let us see what happened when she arrived on the farm.
Come on, we will go tell Uncle Henry and Aunt Em. Come on, Toto. Aunt Em!
57, 58.
Just listen to what Miss Glutch did to Toto.
Dorothy, please. We are trying to count. 58.
Oh, but Aunt Em, she hit him over the...
Don't bother us now, honey. We need to finish this today.
Oh, but Aunt Em, Miss Glutch hit Toto right over the back with a stick just because she says he gets in a garden and chases her old nasty cat every day.
70. Dorothy, please.
Oh, but he doesn't do it every day. Just once or twice a week. And he can't catch her old cat anyway. And now she says she's gonna get the officer and...
Dorothy, we are busy.
Oh, alright.
Go find yourself a place where you won't get into trouble.
Imagine, Toto, how wonderful it would have been if someone would listen to me. I know Uncle Henry and Aunt Em have to work hard all day. Well, Aunt M asked me to find a place where I won't get into any trouble. Some place where there isn't any trouble. Do you suppose there is such a place away from home, Toto? It must be far, far away, behind the moon, beyond the rain. But I want to go there, to that far away place, a place better than home. If I had someone to share my feelings with, I would not have left home. I was so lonely there. I wish there was someone at home who really cared for me. But it's okay, Toto. We are now on our way to the magical land where I could be happy with so many friends to play with. Toto, I think there's a storm coming. There is no one here. Help! Someone help! Please help!
Dorothy, caught in the storm, both actual and metaphorical, fears for the safety of her own self and her dog Toto. Like the actual storm that disrupted life and created havoc everywhere in Kansas, Dorothy's inner storm was doing the same to her. She felt utterly alone with no one to understand her and no friends to keep her company. Like a birch that is laden with snow in winter, she felt heavy with the weight of loneliness on her young, inexperienced shoulders. The only thing she wished for was a respite away from all the realities of life, a safe haven where she would be accepted as she was. Come and follow her on this journey of self-discovery and see what she gains in her search for a better place than home.
Toto, I have a feeling that we are not in Kansas anymore. We must be over the rainbow.
Welcome to the land of the Munchkins. Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Who, me? I'm not a witch at all. I'm Dorothy from Kansas. And this is Toto, my dog.
Oh, well, I'm a little confused. The Munchkins called me and said that a new witch has just robbed a house on the Wicked Witch of the East. See, there are her 2 feet under your house.
Oh no! What shall we do now? I didn't mean to kill anyone.
There is nothing to be done. She was, as I said, the Wicked Witch of the East. She has terrorized all the Munchkins in Munchkin Land for many years. She has made them her slaves, and they were very scared of her.
Are you a witch too?
Yes, I'm Glinda, the Witch of the North.
But you are so pretty. I thought all witches were ugly. I have never heard of a beautiful witch.
No, my dear. Only bad witches are ugly. This land of Oz has 4 witches. 2 who live in the north and south are good witches. I know this as I am one of them. Those who live in the east and west were wicked. But now, because you have killed one of them, there is only one wicked witch in all the land of Oz.
And the Munchkins called you? Who are they? I have never seen any before.
These are the little people who live in this land called Munchkin Land. Come out, everyone. Come and meet the young lady who has come from Kansas.
We thank you very sweetly for doing it so neatly. You have told her so completely that we thank you very sweetly.